Hey everybody, we are live from Carroll Stream for the 2024 SSA Men's Class A Glove National Championship. We had probably an hour and 20-minute delay due to lightning and heavy rain, but of course we're on turf, so we're back playing. We should be able to squeeze these games in. We're joining this F-Town Menace game in progress, again due to the weather and the rain and getting squared away here. This is the 8 o'clock game, so it's 9:35, so we're about an hour and 30 minutes behind. We can be out here till midnight, so we should get all three sets of games in. So F-Town did score 3 in the top of the first, 4, excuse me, and they did get a little help from Menace. Couple of plays. Menace did make a big play when Jalen Smith slid into third, overslid the bag, which happens on turf and when it's a little damp. So a little different. We're playing with the gloves this weekend. I know Will did a game yesterday, and again, due to the rain and the craziness and trying to keep everything dry, we got a late start today. So leading off, it's going to be Matt Scott, then Joey DiGregorio, and Mike I never could, Popcorn. So we're underway. We're back to action. The 6:45 games have completed, and we should get out of here well before our midnight curfew that they have here at the park. Again, a little interesting note about McCaslin. All this property was donated to the park district, and the people that donated it put some restrictions on it. So this should be a pretty good ball game. F-Town finished second last year. Oboes lost 10-8, Juan. Game just finished. So Matt Scott goes the other way. Shortstop got a little leather on it but couldn't make the play, as Matt Scott just punched it in between short and third, and he gets himself a leadoff hit. So, of course, F-Town finished second last year to Stover in this tournament, and they got a good competitive group. And, of course, Menace seems to always play well in this particular tournament. I want to say last year they might have finished maybe third or fourth. I know they had a good run. They stayed clean a long time. Lost a few guys this year. And there's Joey DiGregorio, and the short center dropped the ball. It was close to being on the transfer. See, that's the play I always talk about. You got the first base umpire. He slides over into that area. Can't really see the backside of the short center. Called him safe, said he never had possession. And that's the way you do it. Jimmy Evans was not sure. He asked for help. Joe Monza had a good look. He was looking right at it and said, no, he never possessed it. It was a nice play by the first baseman. He threw a strike right on the money. What I don't like is you see F-Town really shallow and tight on their infield. And when you look, this is a very big infield, so as a hitter, when you look at the space between the infielders and the outfielders, you just feel like you can't make an out. So Greg Pegram is going to talk to Joe Monza, saying it was on the transfer. And even the short center is saying that the ball hit the palm of his glove and kind of bounced up. And he went to grab it to make the throw and couldn't grab it barehanded. You see a lot of short centers with the glove. What they'll do is they'll close the mitt, and they'll catch it on the back of the fingers of the glove, and they'll pin the ball there on the throw, so they don't have to worry about catching it and taking it out of a mitt or having it hit the palm. So here's Popcorn. Well, it might have been. They might not have updated the scoreboard, Dwayne. I thought the last score I saw was, yeah, they updated it. It looked like now they're waiting for the next game to start. And Popcorn goes hard to right, but right there is the right fielder. Scott tags. He'll go to third, so runners on the corner. Right fielder Brendan Boyle got a good read on it and was able to reach up and snag it. And that's going to bring up Dan Higgins, the first baseman. Could be Don. So it's cooled off now. There's a rocket right to the third baseman. Remo snags it. Good base running by Scott. He didn't stray off the bag and was easily back. So 4-0. Yeah, I caught that, Isaiah. I just got so much going on today. So that's going to bring up the fifth place hitter, Tommy Evett, playing center field today. So again, the first two hitters reached. Next two hitters made outs. Runners on the corner here. Again, we're glad you're tuning in, and we're glad that we're playing. Tommy takes that ball a little high. Thing about F-Town, they got a very fast outfield. They will go and get the ball. And they do know how to play softball. They're very... And that's a high pop-up. Remo gets there and makes the catch. So at the end of one complete, 4-0, F-Town leads Menace. So our table, normally organized meticulously, it's a little bit of a mess, but we wanted to make sure we showed you at least one game tonight. Tomorrow we'll have Will Russ and George Bliss in the house. They both had commitments they couldn't get to. So as a result of that, not only did we have the rain, but we were a little short-handed. So right now, if you're Menace, you don't want F-Town to leak out on you. You want to keep this manageable. We already saw a 1-0 game. The Hardway beat the Ribs 1-0 earlier today. And not much wind here. Tops of the trees barely, if at all, moving. But it has cooled off. So leading off here, Brendan Boyle, the right fielder. So F-Town trying to push out here, early 4-0 lead.
Come on, baby.
Again, this is Chicago 16-inch style softball with a twist. We're wearing gloves. Those of you that are regular followers of the stream are probably wondering what's going on. Well, Brian, for this tournament and Labor Day, we put the mitts on, the only two events we run with gloves. If you discount the co-ed mush where the females get to wear a glove. So just a little different style of softball. We use the same ball as we do for the no glove. Same bat rules, same base running rules. The only difference with the pitching regulations is you must maintain contact with the rubber. So there's no drag step. So here's Dan Weber, the pitcher now for F-Town. And Dan did a good job last year against Stover. They played in the winter bracket championship town. F-Town won that. Stover came back for the double dip, but they played 3 games and they were all one-run games. And Mason Reed, the catcher, on deck. And Weber hits a chopper back to his counterpart, and he'll throw him out at first. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. Menace can get this third out here without any damage occurring. Maybe they will get a chance to get their legs under them after that 4-run top of the first, put them in a hole. And I'm kind of surprised because we are playing on turf, but Menace's infield playing kind of tight too. Second baseman Joey D is back, but the whole left side from short center to third basically playing maybe a foot outside the baseline. And I'm not a big fan of that because the ball will scoot a little bit quicker at times than on dirt. But you don't really have much time to make a play. Here's Jalen Smith.
Good jump, Butters. Good jump, Butters.
We talk about Jalen all the time being extraordinarily quick, dynamic outfielder.
Good.
Well, Brian, tell your friends to tune in this weekend because they'll see it with the gloves. And, of course, Labor Day, that's when the big boys will put the gloves on and fight it out in Joliet. So the reason why we do these bigger national championship tournaments on turf is for exactly what happened tonight. As on a dirt field, we would have had no opportunity to play tonight. And Jalen goes the other way, left fielder on his horse, and it gets over the top. So that ball just kept carrying. Jalen Smith is going to jog in with a 2-run homer. So Jalen, when he hit it, looked like it was just going to be a fly ball. The left fielder, Wade, just kept drifting with it. He never really turned and ran. And the ball just kept carrying. It looked like Jalen hit underneath that, had a little underspin, and it stayed up there. I think he got fooled. So here's Caleb Kesterson. 6-0 here. Top of the second. And there's a sky-high pop-up, and Joey D cruises over and makes the catch for out number 3. So they got the first 2 outs, and then a hit and a long one. And Menace finds themselves in a very early 6-0 hole here. Of course, F-Town with the very flashy red, white, and blue checkerboard pattern. Then the F-Town looking good. So Menace needs to reestablish a little contact here. We may see F-Town really extend out. And it's we'd like to thank the teams for being patient tonight during that rain/lightning delay. And they're all ready and in the park and ready to jump on. These guys jumped on literally 5 minutes after the Hardway game ended. And we started playing. There is an open diamond where they got a chance to get loose, but that's the thing about the turf is 5 minutes after you're playing. So here's Joe Brannigan, the short center. And Joe hits a roller up the middle. Second baseman sits on it, makes the play. Good job by Austin Colson as he kept the skirt down and made the play. So here's Wade with Victor Pena on deck. Again, this turf brand new. They just put it in last November. And it is a spectacular upgrade. And there's a ground ball right to the short center. And he makes it look easy for out number 2. So Jacob Pizarnik makes the play. So here's Victor. He slashes one, big Sunday hop. So they go 1, 2, 3. We head to the third, 6-0. So Menace looks like they're still in shock here. And one thing I will say about the Iowa teams, they come to play every game, and they're generally very hyped up. And into every ball game. So, ball went rolling by. I tried to stick my foot out to help. I think I kicked it further. Yeah, Danny Parkins moving on, George. Moving on, but he's a hard worker. He's a pretty sharp kid. I think he'll do well over there. So we are in the top of the third here. A little flare out to right field. And now he drops it. He had it. So Jacob hit a little soft flare into right field. Right fielder had it in the mid, but as he was going to the ground, the ball popped up. So here's Austin Colson, the second baseman now, leadoff man on. And there's a long, high fly ball. Outfielder goes back, makes the catch. Long throw in, won't be in time. Good tag by Jacob as he moves up 60 feet. Yeah, they did a real nice job putting this turf in. Now there's a lot of debris on it right now, and that's from all the wind that went through here. We had about 10 minutes of intense rain and wind here. But we got through it. So here's Remo. And there's a line drive. That's going to sit. Jacob is going to score 7-0 F-Town. And they have come out here. They are all business so far early in this ball game. He's using an iPhone, Amalia. I'm not a fan. So here we go. But yeah, we've talked to him. So Hussein hits a little fly ball and it drops. So everything breaking F-Town's way right now as Hussein El-Kasari, the left fielder, just hit a little flare out over the infield. And that's why I was talking about how shallow the infielders are playing. We go to Joliet, you'll notice the major kids play a lot deeper. And there's a ground ball to Bryan over to Harrigan. Turn to double play. So Brannigan on the turn, but they do score a run. They've scored in every inning. 4-2-1 for 7. Oboe's lost, Randy. I believe somebody said it was 11-10. So here we go now as we head to the bottom of the third. Menace right now, in search of a run. Leading off here, it's going to be Cree Costello, then Brian Crosdale in the top of the lineup with Matt Scott. So Menace off to a slow start in this one. And again, we talked a little bit on the preview show that they haven't quite looked like the Menace we've seen the last few years. And there's a little flip base hit as he walks the dog into right field. Leadoff hit for Cree Costello.
Oh, yeah, I got my own
Singles, you see it? Pitcher follows on singles. Watch pickoffs here. Behind. Pitcher follows on singles.
So here comes Brian Crosdale. You heard one of the Menace guys saying he likes to try a pickoff after a single. And we noticed last year watching Dan Weber, he's a crafty pitcher. He's constantly changing what he's doing, giving Creed a little look out of the side of his eye. And Brian tries to go to right field, but right at the right fielder, no advancement. So Brian trying to flip that way, hit a little too fat, no problem for Brendan Boyle. And here's the leadoff man, Matt Scott, now 1 on 1 out here. When you're down 7, you're not giving yourself up. You're trying to go to your best ball because you're trying to generate a multiple run inning. Matt Scott had a terrific Glove A National Championship tournament last year. Especially on Friday night, I believe it was. They played the Fat Kids in an extra inning ball game. That was one of the more entertaining games of the weekend. And Matt, a little snubber. Remo spikes the throw, safe at second. So you don't normally think of Cree as being a speedster. Ball wasn't hit hard. Remo spiked the throw. Good job by Pisarcik to actually pick that low throw, and Cree slides in just safe. So here's Joey DiGregorio, 2 on 1 out here. So Menace here trying to get on the board and get back in. You can see Dan Weber, sometimes he'll go quick, sometimes he'll make you wait, and there's a base hit. Joey D punches it in, bases are juiced. Jalen Smith with that good speed came flying in on it. And that's going to bring up Popcorn here with the bases loaded and 1 out. So Menace here, golden opportunity to maybe put something crooked on the board. Of course, Popcorn played on that Team SSA and won the Nicky Lopez Classic. A little ground ball, steps on it, throws, double play. So it looked like Popcorn was really trying to muscle up to the gap. Just topped it right to the short center. 10-3 on the double play, and we'll head to the top of the 4th inning, 7-0, F-Town.
Come on, guys, get up. Let's not give nothing up right now. Come on. Let's stop shooting ourselves in the foot. Come on.
I believe it's the top of the 4th. Because it was 4-2-1, I believe, on the scoring. So it should be the 4th, but they haven't changed the inning yet. So now they changed it on the board. And looks like it's going to be Remo. Oh, that's not Remo.
Be up, boys, be up.
There's a swing and a line drive caught by Brannigan. So Chris Stacy, the extra hitter, lines out. Brannigan got a good read on it, reached out with the glove and snagged it. And that's going to bring up Brendan Boyle, the right fielder. So far, F-Towns look pretty good. They're hitting the ball well and playing good defense. And there's a fly ball. Center fielder came jogging in. Tommy Evett puts it away for out number 2. Brings up Dan Weber, the pitcher. Menace can get the third out here. This would be the first time in the ball game they will have grabbed a goose egg. But they have left some runners on base in this ball game. There's a swing and a pop-up. Evett is there, so Menace gets an egg. They come in to swing here halfway through, 7-0. It will be Dan Higgins, Tommy Evett, and Joe Brannigan. 4, 5, 6 coming up here. And I got to tell you, they got some good drainage here. You know, you expect the turf to drain, but even in the concourse level, there's really no standing water despite the rain we had. So all the water really kind of disappeared a little bit. Coming into the weekend, they were telling us they hadn't had rain up here in a couple of weeks, but the grass looks like it's perking up with the rain they've had the last few days out here. So, of course, if you're interested in getting into the SSA Gold Rush Gaming Men's Major National Championship, you need to reach out to Anthony Tyler this week and let him know you're interested. So here's the first baseman. He hits a ground ball, and it gets past Colson into the gap, and he goes in, and Higgins, he noticed that Brendan Boyle was kind of slow getting to the ball. I got a feeling maybe they didn't think he'd try to stretch it, but he did, and here's Tommy Evett. It's like I said, Menace have been putting some guys on base. They're just not getting the follow-up action. And Evett, a little chopper cut off by Remo, looks the runner back and throws across. Menace chopping a lot of wood right now. They've hit a lot of relatively slow ground balls that have been chopped. So here comes Joe Brannigan. Runner still at second base here. And he swings and he hits a high fly ball. Jalen Smith with the catch and a strike to the cutoff man. So this is not the first time in the game that a hitter's been on first or second and Menace hasn't moved them. And that's a little problematic. Here's the left fielder, Wade, now.
Not you, let's go.
Takes a strike. So after the leadoff double here, Menace doesn't get a 2-out hit that will have stranded another base runner. And there's a swing toward the gap. Jalen is there, makes the catch. So leadoff double, doesn't move, and we'll head to the top of the fifth, 7-0. This game, I believe, started a little bit before the other two diamonds due to the fact that we had a 1-0 game, Hardaway beating ribs.
Be up right now. Come on.
And again, if you look at the top of the Facebook page, I did pin a post that contains a document which allows you to go to the live bracket and also to the Game Changer page, so you can look up and see what the previous scores of the tournament were. So here's Mason Reed, the catcher. Then will be the top of the lineup, Jalen Smith, Caleb Kesterson. And there's a little fly ball, long run. Left fielder can't get to it, but it is foul, so we'll reset. Diving effort by Wade out there. And right about now, he's thinking, why'd I dive for it? Because he's probably soaking wet.
Hey, get greasy. Let's go.
George, I'm not sure if that post will actually make it to Facebook because we don't normally allow URLs. And there's a nice play there by Creek Costello as he charged the ball.
No, not that greasy.
Made the catch.
Top, boys, top. Come on.
Yeah, all right.
Stay alive out there, all right?
So here's Jalen Smith, top of the lineup now. One out, nobody on. Brian falling behind, and Jalen is so quick. If he gets on base, it won't take a lot to move him around. Now it looks like he's behind 30. Calls a strike, 31. Full count now.
Make him swing. Make him work. There you go.
And there's a little punch right up the middle. Brian Crosdale with the catch.
Hey,
2 outs.
Go steal one. Go steal one right
Here
now.
comes Caleb Kesterson, the shortstop. So Brian has settled down a little bit since the first inning.
Nephew, ready to back that up now.
And Menace doing a better job of catching the ball here as we move into the back end of the game, but still got to get them bats going. And there's a little chopper cut off by Brannigan. Almost spiked the throw, but first baseman told Brannigan, "You're lucky I'm an athlete," because he had to make an adjustment there. So bottom of the 5th, Menace looking for their first run of the ball game, down 7. So the third base coach saying, "I want to send some people home. Come see me." So here we go. Victor Pena, Creek Costello, and Brian Crosdale, the bottom third of the Menace lineup. And F-Town, after that good run last year, everybody's asking me who the favorites were coming into this weekend, but I think there are as many as 6 or 7 teams that have a legitimate claim that they could win this tournament. And of course, we never know when you might get a surprise along the way, but
Pina!
Pena swings, ground ball to Jacob, high throw in time for out number 1. So here's Cree Costello just kind of punched the ball down the right field line. His last time up for a base hit.
Keep doing your thing, Marky. Come on, Marco. Come on, Cree.
And that ball is a little deep. There's a fastball. And like I said, that's what Dan Weber does. He's going to always not give you the same look. And he's not going to deliver the ball on the same rhythm. And there's a little soft line drive. Remo catches that chew top for 2 outs. And here's a pinch hitter, Marky Robinson, can hit for Brian Crosdale with Matt Scott on deck. Of course, Marky was an ad drop, normally runs the splash team. And Marky, a little overhand cut, base hit, 2-out hit for Marky Robinson. And here's Matt Scott, Joey D on deck, so we'll see if Menace can string something together here with 2 outs. And Weber not afraid to throw a few balls along the way either. And Scott tries to go the other way. That's going to be well out of play. Matt Scott, we've seen him in the past. He's a pretty good line drive hitter. He's got a little pop, but today he seems to be trying to flip the ball the other way. Got that leadoff single in the bottom of the first, just a little ground ball between third and short. And used to seeing him kind of drive the ball a little bit. That pitch is illegal. And there's a little ground ball up the middle. Jacob, I think he might have had a shot at first. He was going to flip to the second baseman for the fielder's choice, and the second baseman really wasn't looking for it. The ball just fell harmlessly on the carpet. So 2 outs, 2 on for Joey D. And they're squeezing him a little bit in right field. Left fielder might be a hair deep for Joey. Jalen Smith looks like he wants to walk in a little bit on the pitch, so they're not thinking he's really going to drive the ball. Takes that pitch. Of course, you got Popcorn on deck. And Popcorn, even though he hasn't driven anything today, we know he can. And Joey D takes that pitch deep. 3-1. See if Joey takes this pitch. Tries to coax the walk. No, he's swinging. Little ground ball, and he drives it through the middle. First run of the board scores. So Joey, being aggressive, 3-1. Just hammered it up the middle. Brings up Popcorn, 7-1 now. We'll see what Popcorn wants to do. He's another guy. And he hammered hammers it right down the line to Remo, who caught it and stepped on the bag. So they leave a couple more runners on. We head to the top of the 6th, 7-1. So it has not been a lack of base runners. They've certainly had those in this game. But they just can't seem to get a hit to trigger any type of an inning. This has been a very snappy ball game. And usually when you have a latest time today would have been 9:15, so you figured the last games usually end around 10:30, 11 o'clock. So we are kind of making a little ground up. So here's the short center, Jacob, then Austin and Drew, 3, 4, 5 this inning. And the game has really settled down. F-Town had 7 runs after their first 3 at-bats. They're still at 7. We've only had, since the 3rd inning, 1 run scored. And Jacob hits a little pop-up, and that's going to land foul and out of play. So, a little back and forth between Brian and the first baseman, Dan, over here. And there's a ground ball. Brannigan can't get to it either, can Joey D, as that one had eyes and just kind of rolled through the infield. So here's Austin Colson.
Come on, Ace.
And there's a high pop-up that's going to fade out of play. Of course, Jacob, living in Iowa, wearing a White Sox hat. So he's deep in enemy territory, representing the White Sox in what looks like is going to be in a historic all-time losing season in Major League Baseball. So Austin Colson here. And Austin hits a high pop-up, caught by the first baseman for out number 1.
Need you, Austin, need you.
Hi, defense, come on, D.
And here's Remo. It is the top of the 6th, Alex. Like I said, Brian's actually settled in pretty good. But a lot of times that'll happen when you play a team maybe that you haven't seen or played before as a pitcher. Before you see them in the box, you don't really know how you want to attack them. You know, our thought process always was, if we didn't know a hitter, we would start them off with a high pitch to see if they were cutters, and we defensively would play them that way. And then if he couldn't handle the high pitch, we'd stay up there. If he came up, cut, and got a hit, then we knew, okay, we can throw this guy a little flatter. So Remo draws a walk. F-Town got a little something going on here. They'll pinch run for Remo with Dalla. And it brings up Hussein El Kassiri. And he hits a ground ball back to Crosdale over to Brannigan to first. Double play. Second time F-Town has hit a 1-10-3 double play in this ball game. Menace playing much better defense since the first inning. They go to the bottom of the sixth. They're down to the last 6 outs here. It's going to be the big first baseman, Dan Higgins, Tommy Evett, and Joe Brannigan. Yes, they play in Clyde Park, I believe.
Higgins, Tommy, Joe, Wade, Pena. Joe, I didn't have it.
And again, you still got 6 outs. You'd like to get 3, maybe 4, and at least give yourself a fighting chance in the bottom of the 7th. Certainly don't want to go into that 7th inning, or don't want to go into the 7th inning trailing by 6. That's a tall order. So if you could put up a 3 or a 4 here, maybe get some momentum, take your chances. So here's Dan Higgins. And he pounds the ball into left field. And that may have been the hardest hit ball by Menace all game. And that was like a frustration swing. He got something a little flat and he just ripped it. So here's Tommy Evett. And Tommy tried to power it and just hit a little fly ball to Jalen. And the middle of the, well, realistically, when you only have 1 run, your whole lineup is struggling a little bit, but they just haven't really barreled up very well today.
You're good. You're good.
And there's a ground ball right to Jacob. He steps on it. So both teams turning double plays in this ball game. We head to the 7th. Top of the 7th. Again, we got 2 games here at 8 o'clock where the winner feeds in and has to play a second game tonight. And there wasn't anything we could do about that because we needed to have every team in the tournament play Thursday, Friday. So heading into Saturday's games, we would be able to kind of have everybody in that second round. And tournament will restart tomorrow at 9 a.m. with loser bracket games. Winner bracket games will start around 1:30. So here's Chris Bartles, first baseman. And there's a swing and a flare the other way. Wade comes over and makes the catch. No, there's actually 1 more round of games after this due to the rain lightning delay we had. These are technically the 8 o'clock games, and then there will be 9:15 games. So here's Chris Stacy, the extra hitter. And there's a line drive base hit. Well, Don, there was
It's a Curtis Stacy. Curtis Stacy. I thought I heard you say Chris.
Oh.
Curtis.
Okay, I got you. No, they're being played today, Alex. We can stay until midnight, and we should be out of here by 11:30-ish, we hope.
Yeah,
so there's a swing, and Brendan
good ball, boys.
Boyle gets another hit. And it brings up Dan Weber. So F-Town up by 6, still looking for some additional
Kleinfelter.
So pinch hitter, Kleinfelter, coming in and hitting for Dan Weber, the pitcher. And there's a line drive and another double play. That's 3 turned by Menace in the ball game. So again, they've done a good job after that first inning. They just haven't been able to swing, and then we go to the do or die bottom of the 7th. They need 6 to continue the game. 7, they win. Anything less, and F-Town will advance to Saturday clean.
Not that I was hesitant to wear it, it just didn't feel right.
Hey, one hit again. Let's go. Pass it around.
We ain't done yet.
Pass it around. You get to me, I'll buy the case and win the game. Fuck it. Let's go. Don't like that.
Hey, George, if you can go to Game Changer and let everybody know what the scores of the other 2 8 o'clock games are, that would be a big help.
Come on, Wade. Come on, Wade.
And there's a line drive caught by the shortstop. So Wade hit it hard, but the shortstop, little half step bending on a knee, made the catch. So Caleb Kesterson showing a nice glove there. And there's a swing and a ball down the line, fair. And Pena will stop over here as the left fielder got on it really quick.
Pena, you okay to run? You good?
Brings up Cree Costello. So 1 out, 1 on. Looks like Marky Robinson going to hit for Brian Crosdale a second time on deck. And Cree walks the dog down the right field line. And Pena's going to try to go safe underneath the tag. Second time Cree's walked the dog. Pena just got there. They kind of grabbed the top of his right shoulder. I wonder if he jammed it, sliding head first into the bag. Still only 1 out here. Marky Robinson hitting for Brian Crosdale, the top looming. Again, Menace needs a few more hits here to be dangerous. And Marky, a little ground ball. It will score the second run. Cree will get into second. I think he was thinking about going down that right field line, but looked like he really flew open with that front shoulder and then was kind of lunging a little bit at the ball. So down to their last out here, Matt Scott trying to extend the game for Joey D. And there's a strike. Very well pitched game by Dan Weber. And Scott base hit the other way. That will score the third run. So Matt Scott's second hit of the ball game drives in a run and keeps the game alive for Joey D. Again, Menace has scored 3 runs the last 2 innings, but they've hit into a couple of double plays and have left a lot of runners on. And that pitch is down low. We might take a walk around the complex if this game should end here. Maybe catch the end of the Mitchell's Bullies game. And Joey D tried to muscle up. That's going to be way out of play. Had that ball been fair or catchable in foul territory, he would have been out. Trailing by 4 with only one base runner, they would need 2 hits to be dangerous. Popcorn on deck. And there's a line drive off the second baseman's glove. So Joey DiGregorio extends the game. And now it's Popcorn's turn to keep the line moving if you're a Menace fan. With Dan Higgins on deck now. So I think now if you're Popcorn, after seeing him play a little bit,
Go, Pop, let's go,
he just needs to have a game plan and not be predisposed.
Man, it's a new man. There you go.
And I like the fact that he's being a little patient here. Taking all the way there. Again, you need one more base runner to bring that tie up. And Popcorn line drive base hit. Jalen Smith throw to the plate. He's out. And that's a bad send over there. Jalen Smith got a great arm and lightning fast. He charged the ball. You're down 4. The run doesn't mean anything. And that's a tough way to end the ball game when you would have had the tying run come up. So we'll go take a walk here. Let's see what we can see. And we got a 9-7 ball game here. As we were walking up, looked like Bullies just scored a run on a single to right field. So they've broken the 7-7 tie. We're in the bottom of the 5th, 9-7 Bullies leading Mitchell's. And there's a swing and a ground ball to second. He plants, he throws, and that'll end the inning. But Bullies breaks the tie. They take a 9-7 lead. As we head to the top of the 6th, Mitchell's coming to bat. So again, we saw Bullies. They did make it to the Class B SSA National Championship game. They lost to Funk. And we talked about how we had seen the Bullies in Intentional Sports Dome in the Los Borrachos Winter League that Steve-O Rodriguez ran, and they looked pretty good in the Dome. And starting to play a little better here later in the year. So here's the leadoff man.
One, 11.
So if you're Mitchell's here, just got to keep fighting. You've been in the game here for 5 innings. And there's a little flare the other way, and that'll be caught by the second baseman for out number 1.
Watch the slap.
Good friend of mine, Bob Belzano, used to always talk about how there's a swing the other way. Coming in and making the catch is the left fielder for out number 2.
Two hands always, boys. Two hands.
Used to always talk about all of the season's tournaments were all just practice for the no glove and the national championship tournaments at the end of the season. And I'm a big believer it's not necessarily how you start, but how you finish. And there's a ground ball to Edwin. Throw to first in time. So we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Bullies, 2-run lead, looking for more. So again, we are live, powered by Gold Rush Gaming. If you're looking to put slots or video gaming into your establishment, go with the gold standard, go with Gold Rush. You can call them at 630-307-0500. You can also email them at inquiries@goldrushgaming.com. Tell them you saw it on the live stream, and please gamble responsibly. So when you come out this weekend and you see the banners on the fences and the park looks great, make a mental note. Support the people that support 16-inch softball. They are the reason we can do what we can do. I'd also like to thank Sweet Buzz, one of our anchor sponsors on the very successful Chicago Summer Series. So here's the leadoff man for Bullies. Now the wind's picked up a little bit. It was dead calm, as I got a wind right in my face as I look out toward where that scoreboard is. The other game looks like it's 10-3 in the 7th. So we should be starting those 9:15 games well before 11:45, I would think.
There we go.
And there's the dreaded leadoff walk. Well, Tim, the Green Onions were actually winning that game 2-0, I believe. And there's a bullet past the third baseman. They get on it quick and they hold the runner to second. Third baseman made a leaping effort. He might have just ticked it with his glove.
Hey, go out, Hector. Nice. I got you.
So Bullies here. And there's a flare the other way. It's going to be caught. So the runner at second didn't tag right away. He had to go back. Third base coach didn't want to take the risk.
Hey, Hector, way to lift it.
It would have been close. The right fielder had a head of steam up.
Hector, watch that. On the plate.
So one out here, first and second.
Watch the big, Hector.
Bullies leading by a deuce.
Watch him. He's behind you.
And there's a little short flare. And it drops. Bounces over to the right fielder. Now they're going to send him. One run is in. They'll hold the runner from first. And they've gone up 3 runs, 7 for Mitchell's, 10 now for Bullies. So there were a lot of people in the neighborhood. Second baseman, short center, right fielder. and the ball found a way to nestle into the carpet in between all of them. Still only one out here. Some bullies threatening to break this one wide open. And there was a ground ball, delayed goal, double play at the plate. So there was a ground ball to third. The runner did not go right away. As soon as the first baseman started moving toward the bag, the runner broke. First baseman hit the bag with his front foot and followed right through a strike for the double play. So do or die, top of the 7 here for Mitchell's. Need 3 to tie, 4 to take a lead, anything less, and bullies will advance to tomorrow.
Let's go. Stay with me, guys. Good. Hey, all pull. Blame honest.
So we were told today that looks like F-Town might be coming back for the major. So we'll see how that goes. Little flare, way foul. So again, to all of the teams, we appreciate your patience, and it's very funny. Even with the rain, they all asked us what was going on. Were we going to get the games in? And we told them the rain should be out of here by 8:05, 8:10, and then we thought we were going to get them in. They were all in good moods, and that ball's going to be way out of play. And everybody was in good spirits, and literally about 7 or 8 minutes after it stopped raining, we were playing. But it really helps when your Park District staff understands your field. And we walked on the turf as the rain was slowing, and there were literally some puddles. And they're like, don't worry about it. As soon as it stops, the drainage system will take over, and it did. So there's a fly out.
Here, Joe, start to you. Come on, Joe.
For the first out here in the top of the 7th.
Take us home 3-5. Take us home 3-5. Oh, yeah.
So Sub-City, F-Town, 2 Iowa winners. Bankroll beat Loose Chains, and there's a base hit. Need one more, and then you can go to work if you're Mitchell's.
Angel, same way. Don't play the hop. Stay down on it.
You see it. Over.
Yeah, fall back hard.
And there's a line drive. Third baseman lays out. Runner tags, and that was dangerous, but he makes it in the second. No real reason there to tag and go. Spectacular catch here by the third baseman. Now it's 2 outs. And we saw a guy from Menace get thrown out at the plate to end that game. And we almost saw a guy get thrown out at second to end the game.
10.
Well, Russ, while it was still raining, there actually were, because I was walking, and that's why I got concerned, and I went to talk to Anthony Kenny, and he said, don't worry, literally 5 minutes after it stops raining, whatever's on the field will disappear. Little ground ball, and Bullies wins 10-7. So we're going to click off here, folks. I got to be honest with you. I'm drenched head to toe. I'm freezing. This will be our last broadcast for the night, but we will pick it up tomorrow. Hopefully better weather, and we'll have Will and George and myself out here, so we should be able to show you a few more ball games. We hope you enjoyed checking out F-Town and Menace and the tail end of this Bully Mitchell's game. So take care, be safe.